Hey all, welcome to Circular Tone, and today we have one of the more interesting videos that I've done, totally out of my comfort zone, and that band is Raketkanon. Now, indistinguishable logos, and the name means rocket cannon. They're from Belgium, and they are a original band, noisy, rocky, experimentally, very technical, but they don't, blow your minds with the technicality aspect of it. They actually have something called restraint. Restraint? What is that? Tact? But then they bludgeon you over the head with something. So let's get straight to it. If you like these types of vids, please subscribe. My subs have stopped. They'll pick up. They always do. It's weird, ups and downs, but now's your chance. Go subscribe, otherwise you're going to get one of these right in your handshake. Another handshake. All right, let's get to it. Raketkanon. And we are back. So that was my attempt of recreating one of the most organic sounding bands that are in the heavier, rockier, noisier bands out there. This is where doing fake drums really, really let me down. Even though I like my drum sound, there is something about the simplistic kit that they use, and the room and the drumming is so perfect, and they feel each other out, and lots to talk about. So what's the big thing about? Let's get right into the gear. What's the big thing about Raketkanon that I like? One take. Most of their albums are one or two takes of the band in a room together, like all playing together. No click track, no fake drum, no drum samples, no drum samples taken from another producer and that type of thing. So it's got there's so much overlap, which is something that I want to do a video on this. I want to actually see if I can recreate overlap. Like, for instance, you have the bass synth of Raketkanon going through an actual bass amp. We'll get to the gear soon, but so it's coming out of a huge stack of speakers, the synth is. That is going to bleed into the drum mics, it's going to bleed into the guitar mics, it's going to bleed into any lead scratch vocals that they're doing live, that type of thing. And you cannot recreate that. It has to be done like all live. So you have to have lots of people playing and all the bleed going in. So what I'm going to try and do in the future is try and recreate that bleed. And how am I going to do it? I have really good sound system in there, like top of the range audiophile nonsense. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn up the drum tracks really loud, and I'm going to have simultaneously playing out of different speakers the actual, the band, me playing, but I'm going to mic it up as if it's a room. So there's going to be bleed. Isolated tracks bleeding into room mics, which are recording the guitars, that type of thing. What am I talking about? Cut. All right, so what is the secret to this band? There isn't really anything. They don't overthink it. This is something I don't do. Who plays rhythm when you tune down to as low as they do? And believe me, I think it's like I think they use 80 on the lowest string. But he uses the neck pickup for rhythm. A low output neck pickup, and he built his own guitar, so it's kind of like the Brian May thing, where if you brought your own guitar together, you can create your own sound, and that's what he did. And also, it's like, oh, what did you use? And I was talking about all sorts of technical stuff when I was asking him, and he was like, I generally have a slightly crunchy-ish sound, but turned up, cranked. So it's a JCM 800 is in the latest album, was the main rhythm. So I used my JCM 800, and he tends to set it to darker too. So a darker EQ with a neck pickup playing sludgy riffs. That they don't mention that on forums. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's not an SM57 on a close mic with a vintage 30 and the rest of it, you know what I mean? Or sensible mids. It's like, yeah. And what they have that a lot of bands don't is the interplay between the keyboard player and the guitarist. And let's face it, with that amount of bass on tap, with the neck pickup and the rest of it, they don't need a bass player, especially when you have the masterful, the most underrated synth player in rock today, in my opinion, is the Raketkanon guy, because the soundscapes. This is where I fell down the most. This bloody thing, I embarrassed myself. Talk about fish out of water. Trying to do modular synthesis, I was so crap. And I tried to freestyle stuff. I tried to play it to check out how god awful. This is why I didn't do this band any justice, because I got kind of like, close-ish with the guitars. I mean, that's probably kind of being nice. I like the clean stuff I did, but it's the interplay between the keyboard player and the guitarist, and the choice notes that they have. And I was thinking it's going to be all this fancy gear, and the stuff they use was about as cheap as it gets for keyboards. We're talking entry-level prices. This is a spit and soda band. They are not, they know they just know volume and originality, and they have their own. It's a kind of overstated about this band where they have their own language. It's kind of, it's based in Belgium, but Also, they do create their own language because they use so many effects. You know, I'm not sure if they do the obituary thing where they actually don't say words, just, you know, rush and go, cut in half, and then look it out, who's doing well, where they don't actually, you know, say words. I'm not sure if it's that. I'll have to get some clarification on that. To get the guitar sound, you can get 90% of the way there if you use a Fender-ish guitar with neck single coil. He actually used a Bill Lawrence, and the tuning is insane. It's tuned to A. Oh my god. So yeah. And also, with the cleans, I'm obsessed about this band's clean tone. So I'm like, how the hell do they get the cleans? They use the same bloody amp. What they do is, because it's, you know, obviously if you have an amp blasting, the cleans are going to be non-existent. They use a volume pedal in front of the amp just to take the volume down. So, you know, it's almost like turning down your volume on your guitar, but it's a little bit different. You know, it's, I don't really know the push-pull aspect of that, but it works for them. I would have thought it was rolling off the volume, but they use the volume pedal. Kind of the same deal, but is it? Maybe I'll have to check that. So the interesting things like that about this band are just like, you know, it's not rocket science. It's just, you can't recreate this band unless you have 3 or 4 people in a room and you have everything mic'd up, including the room, and you just play. Listen to Florent. That was one take. One take, the whole band playing it, with a couple of overdubs just for, you know, a little bit of zazz. Oh my god, how good is that song, and how huge does it sound, and how analog, and I'm obsessed. I love it. So what a great band. For the parts where there was feedback, they used an OCD boost. And with the clean as well, it's he literally, you can either do or, which is what he does. So it's a lot of touch when it comes to his clean sound. So you roll off the volume and also less input coming in here. I love how detuned some of the stuff sounds that they play, like dragging it out of tune. They don't care. Everything's supposed to be pristine, perfect, you know, and it's like there is a lot of detuned stuff going on with the guitars with that band, and also with mine. Mine was kind of, I don't think I could get quite as low as them because I have a brass nut on this, and the strings kept popping off it because they're so thick. I'm not used to this, you know. I'm just, I'm a mortal. And mine aren't even close to 0.8. There was no way I couldn't even get that through these tuning heads. You know what I mean? I'd have to drill it. So yeah, so my limitations were, you know, because he had a custom guitar, but I used my own custom guitar, Fender style guitar, like you said, and very cool. And if you're a Guns N' Roses fan, I know that sounds a bit weird, but you have to check out the song called Anna by Raketkanon, just to check it out. I'm not going to do any spoilers. Just go to YouTube after this, after hitting like, after hitting subscribe, and after donating to my channel. Go to YouTube and search for Anna and Raketkanon and just watch it and post in the comments that I sent them there, because I love it. They're what a great band. Some of their videos are so good. The Florent video, so good. So underrated from every aspect you can think of. Artistic, good songs. It's, you know, it's abrasive. I'm not going to say, you know, they're going to be on the radio anytime soon because they're so noisy. But when it comes to somebody like me who's so done with the progressive fake metal, with the gent and the rest of it, I'm so done with it. To hear something fresh is fantastic. I hope you like this one. Some more details will be in the description, very specific stuff. The keyboard setup, them running it through bass amp. I run mine through the COT 100. So here's a picture of my settings. And I went through a 15-inch speaker with, you know, I kind of kept it bassy. And I failed on the bass synth sound, and I failed on the solo synth sound. So I was really disappointed with myself in that aspect. But there's sometimes where I'm plugging away, and in the end I just gotta let it go. So that's it. So I just pulled the keyboards down a little bit, and you know, if you take them out, it's a hell of a lot different. So I need more experience programming, playing and mixing keyboards, that's for sure, especially analog ones that are going through amps. But I liked it still. I loved the low end that I got from this synth to make it a little bit pumpier. All right, so that's it. If you like these types of vids, we have a Facebook group that you can come and join, the Circular Tone Facebook group. It's 1,000 strong and growing, and we talk about all sorts of stuff there. About like the last posts on there were actual photographs from the session which birthed heavy metal. Do you want to see those photographs? Go to Circular Tone Facebook group and come hang out, come say hi, come share your gear, your little secrets, what you know about other stuff that's been recorded, and so forth. So what's coming up in the future? Oh, just Queen. I got a feeling this could be one of those Iron Maiden month-long waits. Queen. How the am I going to do Queen? I don't even have his guitar. I got to wing it. Like I always do now. All right, you've been awesome. Please sub, all that bollocks, and we will be back soon, hopefully. I've got a couple of videos coming up just talking about stuff, and you know, just to fill the time in between me and Queen. But yeah, that's it. Had fun on this one. Way outside my comfort zone, but we got there in the end. All right, guys. Thanks to the guys from Raketkanon, and you've been awesome. Stay in touch. You know, keep me abreast of what you guys are doing. You know, I'd love to keep promoting you guys, and I hope you guys will go to their videos, check them out, go to their Facebook, all that good stuff. You know, keep the underground going. Kind of, I think they're above the underground in Belgium, but you know, worldwide, I guess they'd be considered underground. All right, which is part of the tragedy of music right now. Oh well. See you guys. I've been Owen. Circular Tone.